This is one of 118 classes being run in 50 districts. Right from its establishment, INSEC has been launching human rights education programs in various ways. The programs aim to empower the people, educating them about their human rights, thereby preparing them to claim those rights. After the restoration of democracy in 1990, INSEC realized the urgency of giving the grassroots people awareness classes and bringing them into organization. Unitedly, they could better fight for their rights, it was thought. In 1992, the program started from 25 districts and have now expanded to 50. Goma Basgai from Kavre, who couldn't attend formal schooling for various reasons, is happy at what she learned.
We learn a lot, learn to read and write our names. We have come to the bright world from darkness.
Ramchandra Tamang from Nuakot holds similar assessment about the program. I think I learned a little about human rights. I learned what our human rights are. 58-year-old Bhagavati Takal was not allowed to go to school by her parents as a girl child.
Only my brothers were allowed to read and write. I was not on the ground that I had to go to others' home as a wife. I wish I learned to read and write as my brothers did. I am reading now despite poor eyesight and memory. Also, I am sending my children to school.
Freed Kamayas, bonded laborers, have been empowered to speak out their problems. They have been able to read and write. They are informed of their rights. Jayanti Devi Chaudhary has been in this camp following the freedom of Kamayas, struggling hard to sustain livelihood. She is attending the human rights education classes as well.
I was born a Kamaya. I got married into bondage. I'm here following the freedom. Earning a living has been a serious problem for us. I was interested to go to school, but my parents died quite early. My brother could not afford for schooling. I'm now going to INSEC run classes, have been able to read. Now I can identify what a rupee note it is. I wish I read a lot. Now I learn I should send my children to school. I also tell others that they learn something, send their children to school.
Ranjita Kumari Chaudhary, a freed Kamaya, thus says.
My parents were Kamayas. I had to work in the master's house, care for his children. I had no time to go to school. I'm now reading a book that I received from INSEC.
Asked what difference she noticed after she learned to read and write.
Quite a lot difference. Now I know of human rights, social discrimination such as untouchability. I can write my name and of my place.
Sita Devi Dagora couldn't join school. She had to work for the master in her school age. Now she has an opportunity.
I learned about human rights. I learned that sons and daughters are equal. They need to be treated equally. I also learned that women development is a must.
In the Kamaya sector, INSEC has been launching human rights education and awareness classes since 1994. INSEC has published a book named Prakash for literacy classes and Sachetan Mala for awareness classes. The books collect experiences drawn working at the grassroots. Before the classes are administered, the teachers are provided with specially designed training. Sarita Dhakal teaches human rights education and awareness. At the start of her duty, she received training on how to use the reference books.
I have taken training from INSEC to use the books. I learned about teaching techniques, basic legal things, and a few recreational items.
Menuka Humagai is another teacher.
I'm satisfied with my work. It is interesting to teach village persons in my neighborhood. This is my duty to serve my village. I'm happy.
The teachers and the participants are provided with books, stationaries and kerosene lanterns as classes are on in the evening. Awareness classes are launched the first 6 months. The next 5 months are used for intensive discussion and interactions on human rights issues. So far, 32,000 people have participated in INSEC programs. Most of them are from the marginalized communities at the grassroots. Now the program is going on with 3,540 men and women. The central and regional offices regularly monitor the program in consultation with the grassroots networks. Asked what guided INSEC to launch human rights education and awareness as the key program, General Secretary Subodh Rajpadhyaya.
Immediately after we got the democracy, at that time we found that more than 60% of the people in Nepal were illiterate. And we felt that education doesn't mean only to make a people literate, but rather to make people knowledgeous. We mean the knowledge which guides the people towards their rights. So we started human rights education and awareness program, by which we didn't only give them the literacy, but side by side we gave them the classes for awareness, due to which they could realize their universal rights according to the Constitution, rights according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, rights which have been committed by the world community through various world summits.
With these programs, INSEC led a massive campaign to organize Khamayas, bonded as slaves to their masters across generations. A Khamaya Liberation Front was established in 1994. Under the front, Khamayas led a number of protests and movements at various levels and stages. All this forced the government to announce the freedom of Khamayas from debts and bondage. The announcement was made on 17th of July. It was indeed a historic announcement. Not only in the far west, INSEC programs have also impacted in the east of Nepal. The Dalits, the so-called untouchables, are fighting caste oppression, social discrimination, and economic exploitation in Siraha and Saptari. INSEC programs have strong bearing in this movement. INSEC is proud to claim so. Local representatives have been closely monitoring INSEC activities. Lal Bahadur Khadka, the Suda VDC chairperson in Kanchanpur, has thus to say.
वास्तवमा अब यो साक्षरता क्लास भन्दाखेरि त अहिले नेपालमा एक खाले बाढ नै आछ साक्षरता अभियान भनेर तैपनि अरु संघ संस्थाहरूले आधारभूत ठाउँमा चाहिँ मलाई पुर्याउन सकिरहेका छैनन् र सञ्चालनका लागि मात्रै सञ्चालन गरिरहेका छन् र जुन यो संस्थाले साक्षरता क्लास चलाइरहेको छ
INSEC-run classes are at the right places. It's one of the reasons why they are effective. I have experienced that those who attended INSEC classes have had conspicuous changes in their life, in the way they speak, the way they dress, and keep themselves neat and clean. This is sure a required change.
वास्तवमै मैले एक दुई ठाउँमा आफैले हेर्दाखेरि जस्तो सुडाकै वार्ड नम्बर 4 मा चौधरीहरूको बस्तीमा एउटा क्लास विगतमा चलिरहेको थियो त्यो क्लासमा म दुई तीन चोटी
Chairman Khadka also sees the bearing of the education and awareness programs on the freedom of Khamaya.
पहिलो कुरा त उनीहरू एउटै गाउँमा एउटै बस्तीमा बसेर पनि छरिएर बसेका थिए र त्यो प्रौढ कक्षाको माध्यमबाट उनीहरूले कमसेकम सङ्गठित हुने एक आपसमा चाहिँ बसोस गर्ने र आफ्ना सुख दुःख गर्ने चाहिँ मतलब वातावरण पाए.
INSEC programs organized the Khamaya into a single cause for human rights and social justice. They collectively took to the freedom movement, became successful. Human rights and awareness education has obviously contributed to the movement.
उनीहरूलाई सङ्गठित गर्ने कामहरू पनि भयो.
Although Khamayas achieved freedom, although the Chamas rose up to fight the high caste high-headedness, there is not a bit room for complacency. Hundreds of thousands of people in the country are still illiterate, poor, disadvantaged, and deprived of their basic rights. The need of the day, as INSEC has realized, is to review the program, reformulate it in light of the need at the grassroots, and take a massive campaign throughout the country to organize the people, educate them about their rights, and prepare them to entertain their rights. With a view to taking human rights message to every corner in the country, INSEC has started a radio program on human rights education beginning 21st January 1995. Every Saturday morning at 8:30, the program is aired through the Radio Nepal, the only national broadcasting institution. To take the program with prisoners, INSEC has formed radio listeners clubs in each prison and has provided them with the radio set. Encouraged by the radio program, a number of radio listeners clubs have been set up in different parts of the country. Of them, 288 listeners clubs have had affiliation with INSEC. So far, the radio listeners clubs have held 2 national conferences supported by INSEC. The program has been identified as the 3rd in the list of the most popular programs being run through Radio Nepal. The survey was carried out by a team of the Radio Nepal. Children are the future of the nation, the future of our hope. They need to be exposed to the world of their rights and responsibilities to protect and promote the rights of others right from their school age. With child rights awareness groups, which number 240 now, INSEC has been launching child rights promotion programs in the country. A total of 39,600 school children are organized into the awareness groups. Guardian teachers, at least one in a school, works with the children, monitors what they do and guides them if necessary. The groups run creative and awareness programs on child rights issues. The groups also mobilize school children in a number of community works as volunteers to administer polio drops to the children below the age of 5, for example. Class 10 student Siva Prasad Gujral, the chairman of the Child Rights Awareness Group at Niranjan Secondary School, Belkot, thus speaks of the group activities. We have been publishing a wall magazine entitled Child Development. Ms. Sudha Vandari is the Assistant Secretary of Child Rights Awareness Group at Nilakantha Secondary School.
I had participated in a symposium on child rights, which was organized by INSEC. I came to know about child rights, that all children are equal, be they from the rich family or poor, boys or girls. In lack of child rights, children have a dark future. I have been able to convince a family in my village to to send their child to school.
सबै कुराहरू थाहा पाएँ बाल अधिकार कस्तो के हो बाल अधिकार के हो र यो कसरी गरिन्छ भन्ने कुरा पनि सिकेँ यहाँ आएपछि यहाँ म त्यहाँ तालिमबाट फर्केर यहाँ आएपछि राम्रै कामहरू चलिरहेको छ
The most significant achievement of INSEC, its General Secretary Pekral sees.
Well, if we look backward to our achievement, we find there are so many things we achieved. But in principle, if I have to make a comprehensive note, I would like to tell that we made people aware towards their basic rights, and those people represent the many corners of the society: the bonded laborers, the women, the politically victimized people, and the untouchable community of Nepal. And to make the conclusion, we made them feel that until and unless people are organized, they can't get their rights fulfilled. So, in this way, when we were talking about the rule, we always talked about the rule made for the people, by the people. Likewise, when we are talking about the peace, we are always talking about the just full peace.
The new programs INSEC is to launch in future in this area.
Well, we have achieved a lot, but there are still a lot many things which has to be achieved. Number one is that people has not been sufficiently empowered, and for the empowerment of the people, the social construction of Nepal is the greatest barrier. Everyone knows that ours is a country of a feudal structure. Moreover, due to the lacuna in the functioning of our governance, nowadays we are facing the Maoist insurgency in Nepal. So many innocent people has become the victims, and I think that in the near future we should contribute towards the conflict resolution, so that the people in the grassroots, the poor villagers in the villages, they can get peace. And we have to work a lot many things in the field of policy making also. Some of the legislation towards the property rights of the women is still pending with our parliament. Yes, we have many laws, but those laws has not been implemented to guarantee the freedom, to guarantee the equality of the untouchable community of Nepal. In those fields also, we have to work hard. We have to unite the oppressed section of our country, and we have to mobilize and motivate the opinion builders of Nepal. That should be our focused program for the future, I think.
Definitely, INSEC programs have started producing results. They are quite visible. The formation of Kamaiya Liberation Front, the fixation of a minimum wage for agricultural laborers, the announcement of the abolishment of the Kamaiya system, The ongoing struggle against caste oppression, the gradual decline of conservative and traditional practices can be attributed to INSEC programs, launched individually as well as in cooperation with other like-minded organizations.